Your ladder will be greater than your past. See, you are being blessed more than you could ask. Now, despite all that has been done, I believe your best is yet to come, and your ladder will be greater. Your ladder will be greater. Your ladder will be greater than your past. God has in store for you. See, you are being blessed more than you could ask. Now, despite all that has been done, you know, your book, your resume, your album, all that, but I know your best is yet to come. Your ladder will be greater. The ladder will be greater than all the rest. Come on. Your ladder will be greater than your past. You ought to know that right now. You are being blessed more than you. All that has been done, your best is yet to come, and your ladder will be greater. Right now, your ladder will be greater. You look over your life, your ladder will be greater than your past. Say it again, y'all. Come on. See, your ladder will be greater than your past. See, somebody gets stuck on their resume, they think that's all there is. But you are being blessed right now more than you could ask. Now look at somebody and say, all that has been done. Ricky, I know it. Your best is yet to come, and your ladder will be greater. So much more to do. Your ladder will be greater. A new book for you. Your ladder will be greater. Your ladder will be greater. Yes, your ladder will be greater than your past. All things are possible. Listen to that. Possible. All things are possible. Possible. The healing in your body is possible. Just say it again. All things are possible. No matter what a doctor told you, no matter about that past relationship, forget that job now. Something new is happening. Come on. And your ladder will be greater. Yes, it will. Your ladder will be greater. Step on into it. Your ladder will be greater. A brand new you. Your ladder will be happening right now. Your ladder will be greater. Don't be afraid. Your ladder will be greater. Look at somebody and say, my ladder will be greater than my past. Oh, that's right there, y'all. See, I don't know. I'm not afraid no more. I've done a lot of things. Been around the world a couple of times. But Spirit told me, Nikki, in 2010, the best is yet to come. Come on. Tell somebody. The best is yet.
May our hearts be open. 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 May our hearts be open.
So with that, I'd like us to anchor in prayer right here and right now. So if you so choose, allow your eyes to gently close, recognizing right here and right now as we breathe in that each one of us is deeply connected to the all that is. For there's only one life. That life is God. That life is everywhere present. And I know right here and right now, it is my very life. And so right here and right now, I know that I'm inseparable from all that is. I'm inseparable from love. I'm inseparable from peace. And as I know this to be true about myself, I know it to be true for each and every one within the sound of my voice. And right now, I declare peace. I declare the peace that resides within us to reveal itself through every cell, every tissue, every fiber, every molecule of our being. I declare love to reveal itself through every cell, every tissue, every molecule of our being. And right now, all of the ways that we have been not accepting ourselves are simply dissolved and dissipated as we right now recognize all of the gifts of ourselves, all of the gifts of our body, all of the ways that it has totally and completely supported us in our lives. And we simply say, yes, I love you. I'm grateful for you. And so I declare peace within us. I declare love within us. And I know that as each and every one of us do this, peace reveals itself fully and totally on this planet, that we reveal peace everywhere, that we have the strength and the courage to deeply practice these beautiful principles of science of mind, of oneness, that we live in oneness, and we have the courage and the strength to be love, to be peace, to be oneness on this planet. And knowing that this community is absolutely abundantly blessed, that everything that is needed and necessary pours upon it right now, that wherever every heart is, that whatever the need is, the desire is within the heart, that right now the infinite overflowing presence of life says yes, and that we are fulfilled in this moment. So for this day, for this time, for this opportunity to be with you, I am so deeply grateful. I am so deeply grateful for the bright, shining point of light that this spiritual community is. I celebrate the work that you do in the world, and I call forth for greater and greater work to be done. And for this and for so much more, I say thank you, Father, Mother, God, and with gratitude and love, I allow it to be. And so it is.
I believe.
What comes from the heart reaches the heart. Good morning and welcome to our Heartstream for this Sunday, April the 30th, 2023, the last Sunday in the month of April, the fifth Sunday, which brings to mind that today is our fifth Sunday fellowship. That is an opportunity for us to come together in person at 2 p.m. Those of you that are here in the Memphis area, an opportunity for us to come together for prayer, for meditation. We'll probably sing a few songs that we've sung, and then we will have a time for fellowship and the time to see one another. But we're going to start promptly at 2 p.m. because we're going to be there only for an hour. We have to be out by 3. So we're going to start on time and we're going to end on time. And it's a great opportunity. Again, thank you, Krista, right there for allowing us the opportunity to use the space at the Haven. So grateful for her. Krista always, whenever I've asked of things from her for Open Heart, she always steps up and says yes. And I'm grateful for this opportunity. So I hope that you will come. I know I've gotten some messages from a few people who won't be able to be with us, and I understand that, but we're going to welcome those who are able to come and say to you, some of you may not have attended Open Heart regularly in the past. You may be some of our new family members, and you too are welcome to come today. Also, as I talked about this the last Sunday in the month of April, meaning that we're moving into May. And one of the very special days we know in May is Mother's Day. And I'm excited to announce the fact that our Mother's Day speaker this year will be Lazora Jones. And Lazora is not a stranger to many of us at Open Heart. She's spoken a number of times for us in the past, always been very well received. She's very powerful and inspirational. And I look forward to her Mother's Day message. And we, again, are grateful on last Sunday for Milton Craft's message. I thank each and every one of you for all that you do to support Open Heart, from your financial gifts and contributions to your prayers, to the ways in which you provide other things for this Heartstream as we continue to bring new thought, ancient wisdom from our perspective to the world. And I take this pleasure and this honor to say to each and every one of you, I greet you, I bless you, I see God in you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Just have a happy day. Today is a day like no other day. Just think and you'll know that it's true. Days like today should be holidays. So I'm singing this message to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Just have a happy day.
Our affirmation for the month of April: I own my mind. Knowing that to learn how to think is to learn how to live, I take responsibility for what I do with my mind, what I allow into it, and how I spend my time using it. There is one thinker who thinks through me. I remain open to the infinite intelligence within me as my guide and navigator through life. And so it is.
Today is the day for our fifth Sunday fellowship. If you're in Memphis, we'll see you this afternoon at 2 p.m. at the Haven, which is at 662 Minor Road, which is near the intersection of Highland and Southern. It is the street that's behind the McDonald's near the University of Memphis. We look forward to seeing you there. It'll be a time for meditation, prayer, music, and fellowship. And it's an opportunity to see one another, and we hope that you will be there.
Most people are not free. Instead, they live in reaction to events of the past and present, as well as events they project into the future. We react because we have been conditioned to do so. If we don't begin to question our conditioning, our reactionary habit patterns will remain lifelong companions. When we choose to remain in ignorance, we become a walking reaction to the circumstances in our life. We imagine that we are taking action, when in truth, we are in a mode of reaction. Reactions are unconscious patterns of behavior, be they directed at someone who pushes our buttons, something we hear on the news, the irresponsible driver who's texting in the car in front of us, or the grocery store that just ran out of our favorite veggie burger. Your willingness to get clear on where you stand in the reaction-action continuum within your life structures is the liberating key.
It's time for our announcements. Please watch. Today is the day for our 5th Sunday Fellowship. If you're in Memphis, we'll see you this afternoon at 2 p.m. at The Haven, which is at 662 Minor Road, which is near the intersection of Highland and Southern. It is the street that's behind the McDonald's near the University of Memphis. We look forward to seeing you there. It'll be a time for meditation, prayer, music, and fellowship. And it's an opportunity to see one another, and we hope that you will be there. Sunday, May 14th is Mother's Day, and our special guest speaker will be Lazora Jones. We know that Lazora is no stranger to open heart, and we look forward to her words of wisdom and inspiration. We know that you'll join us on Mother's Day for our speaker, Lazora Jones. Our daily affirmative prayer call takes place each and every morning at 8 a.m. Central Time. Dial in as one of our prayer team members shares an inspirational reading and then prays for you, all in about 7 minutes. New Thought teacher Charles F. Hannell wrote, "Whatever you desire for yourself, affirm it for others, and it will help you both. We reap what we sow. If we send out thoughts of love and health, they return to us like bread cast upon the waters. And so daily, we send out thoughts of love, health, well-being, comfort, and strength for these dear ones on our prayer list." And so it is. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am richly blessed, creating a greater and greater and greater flow. We have ways in which you can give and support Open Heart through Cash App. Our cash tag is OHSC901. You can go online to our website, OHSC901.com. Click on the word give and contribute there. Or you can text the word give to 615-422-4292. Infinite prosperity is mine to share. I am blessed. Thank you for your gifts.
All right, here we go. There is a God in the garden.
There is a garden where dreams come true. A beautiful garden
Dreams come true. A beautiful garden. That garden is you. There is a garden where dreams come true. A beautiful garden. That garden is you. There is a garden where dreams come true. A beautiful garden. That garden is you. Such a beautiful garden. That garden is you.
That was sweet. That
We
was
done.
sweet.
We good. No more.
Yes.
Well, good morning. I had my message. I was trying to upload the message, and my internet was just working slow this morning, and it would not upload. So I am here live this morning for you with our message for today. I own my mind. And the thing of it is that I know that as people saw this title, as you saw the affirmation for the month, I own my mind. I know that there are people who were saying, of course I own my mind. Of course I do. Who else would own it? It's my mind. I own it. I own it. It's in my head. But the thing of it is that it's important for us to understand that while, yes, our minds are in our head, we own our minds in that way, it's also important to ask ourselves the question, who is really conditioning our mind? Because there's a difference between owning our mind and conditioning our mind. And as I've said to you before, that if you don't condition your mind, someone else will. So that's why I posed that question. That's why I had this particular affirmation. And I'm going to read this month's affirmation for us because I think that it's very, very important to understand where it is that we are going. Knowing that to learn how to think is to learn how to live. I take responsibility for what I do with my mind, what I allow into it, and how I spend my time using it. There is one thinker who thinks through me. I remain open to the infinite intelligence within me as my guide and navigator through life, and so it is. That line, that to learn how to think is to learn how to live, comes from Ernest Holmes. And the idea here is the understanding and the wisdom here is that as we learn how to think, we learn how to live. You hear all the time talking about the fact that thoughts are things. And ultimately what we mean by this is that as we perceive the world, as we view reality, as we think about things, those things have a tendency to show up in our lives. Those things have a tendency to manifest for us because, again, what we think about, we bring about. So that's why it's important to condition our minds to get the results and to see the things that we wish to have show up in our lives. And so very often, there are other forces that are competing to condition our mind. We can just look at social media, we can look at the news, we can look at advertising, we can look at the conversations of other people, we can look at all of the things that are happening in this world today that are competing to condition our minds and control how it is that we think. Everything from how state legislatures and other political bodies are trying to influence and control what we can learn and can't learn and teach, what we can teach and can't teach, and all of that, things that we can say. We know that if we pay attention to social media, that if you click on certain things, you read certain things, you see more and more and more of it because of the algorithms that are there. We know that there is confirmation bias, and so that as you look for things, you see more and more of it. Our reticular activation system that operates so that, for example, if you purchase a car, a particular model and color, and then all of a sudden you notice that there's so many other ones that look like the one that you purchased moving around, driving around, you wonder where all of those came from. Your reticular activating system has kicked in and you begin noticing things that were always there. You just didn't notice them before. That's a part of it. So it's important in this sense of life, being able to navigate ourselves through all of this so that we can have lives that are, as the master teacher Jesus said, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. When we get in touch with the I am presence within us, we experience this abundant life. That's why it's important, as I say all the time, to pay attention to what we're paying attention to. Are we worried? Are you worried about something? Are you constantly harping in your mind on things? Worry is a way of praying for, if you will, for those things that we don't want to have happen in our lives to come into our lives. So it's important, again, about what it is that we're thinking. We know that when we look at our mind, we're not talking about our brains, but we're talking about the aspect of ourselves, the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. The conscious mind being the thinker, being that part that is connected with the one thinker, with the one presence, the one mind, but the subconscious mind being that aspect of our lives, that aspect of the universe also, because we know that it's equivalent to the creative medium that takes whatever the conscious mind places into it and it begins acting upon it. So, say for example, you're constantly watching those advertisements that we see about the different pharmaceutical drugs that are coming in. It's a treatment for this, and it's so interesting to me. They will advertise a drug that is treating something, and then you hear all the side effects, and then you discover that down the road that they have created another drug that will treat the side effects of the initial drug, and all of that. And so often, as I've read, that a lot of things we don't even necessarily need, but because it's advertised over and over and over again, and we go into our doctors and we ask for those things, and they're not immune to that either, and ultimately we find ourselves with all of that. But say that you are harping on that, you're concentrating on that, and you have this pain or this sensation or something else, and suddenly that's where you are. You begin thinking that's something that you have. And then ultimately it shows up in your life because that is what we are concentrating on. It is important then to understand that we have to, again, in this affirmation that where it talks about how I take responsibility for what I do with my mind, what I allow into it, and how I spend my time using it. And that is important for us to own up to that. And I'm not doing the metaphysical mistake that oftentimes of victim blaming, that if you have things show up in your life, present in your life that you don't wish to have, that is completely your fault. No, I know that it's important to acknowledge the fact that we live in an intersectional world, meaning that we live in contact with other people, and sometimes we get caught in other people's stuff. Sometimes things that are going on are not our own doing, but it's because of other people who are dealing with their stuff, particularly people who are not really conscious of how they're thinking, not conscious of what it is that they're doing, and we find ourselves in the midst of all of that junk. But it's important that when we're in the midst of that junk, for us to recognize it. And as we recognize it, for us to do something about it, to extricate ourselves from it, or at least to insulate ourselves, because sometimes we may have to go through certain things in order to get to the other side. But as we go through them, we can still affirm for ourselves that it's not our reality. It's not our reality. I find that it's really something that happens to me, and it happened to me again twice this week. As many of you know, that in 2018, I experienced a major health crisis that was very serious. It was very life-threatening for me. It took me a period of time where I had to learn to walk again and regain my strength, do therapy, do all of those things to be able to recover. And it was something that a lot of people don't recover from, but I was able to. And there are people even to this day that I come into contact with that want to keep me back there, that still want to, and I appreciate them inquiring how I'm doing, but who act as if that I am in that place where I once was, but I am feeling healthy and whole and perfect and complete, and I celebrate that. I'm thankful for that, and I understand that I can't dwell on that I have to continue to move on and to move forward. So we have to understand also that there are people that will pigeonhole us, people that will put us in certain places, people who will bring up our past very often, people who will do all kinds of things. And we have to remember, first of all, that what other people think of us is none of our business. Second of all, it is on them and not on us. And when we take control of our minds, when we control our atmosphere, then we can control and begin to be positive co-creators with the one mind, with the one presence. That's why I think that it's important, and you hear me talk about this over and over and over again, but I am a strong believer in using affirmations being a key to us being able to bring about the results in our lives that we wish to have happen. Affirmations that allow us in the midst of appearances, in the midst of conditions, in the midst of crises, in the midst of everything else, to continue to repeat to ourselves the truth of what is going on, the truth of who we are in the midst of what is going on. And as we do this, things begin to unfold. But it's important not to just use affirmations as blind words that we speak and blind words that we say, but there has to be that other component that we feel it. As Neville talks about, feel it real, that we not only repeat the affirmations, but we see those things manifesting and unfolding in our lives. And as we do, we are on the road to owning our minds. We're on the road to creating the things that we wish to have. We're on our road to taking ourselves and rising above all of the other things that are happening in our lives. Things that are unfolding that are unwanted, things that are unfolding that very oftentimes happen for us. And we wonder, how in the world did I get here? Remembering and recognizing that while I'm here, I don't have to stay here. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Walking through the valley of the shadow of death means I don't have to stay there. I'm walking every day. I'm moving every day. I'm getting out of every day because I understand what all is unfolding for me. I understand that I have the divine expressing through me. That's part of what I like about this affirmation again, that as I put it together, that talks about there is one thinker who thinks through me. I remain open to the infinite intelligence within me as my guide and navigator through life. That guide and navigator through life, the infinite intelligence. One of the affirmations I use daily, and it is there, and so often it comes forth for me as I begin to understand and unknow this, that only divine right action takes place in my life. And all that I need to know is revealed to me instantly from the infinite intelligence within. So often, when I don't know what to do, so often when things seem like they are going the other way, so often when it feels like my world is crumbling or tumbling down, so often when things are happening for me, I repeat that affirmation. I've embodied that affirmation. I know this affirmation, and infinite intelligence guides me. It's my navigator. And the same for you. It's available to you right here and right now. And the beauty of this is that we don't have to get caught up in appearances. The beauty of this is we don't have to spend a whole lot of time trying to get this and take many courses and all of that. But as we become open and available to spirit that is expressing in, through, and as us, it unfolds for us. It is the opportunity and the possibilities that lie before us in this moment, that as we are open and available to it all, it happens. I invite you today to not only affirm that you own your mind, but I invite you to condition your mind. I know many of you that do, but if you're not doing it, if you find yourself struggling to continue to work with the continued as we continue with our Heartstream here at Open Heart and the things that we do, will continue to teach you how to do this, how to live that life, that more abundant life, again, that the Master Teacher Jesus talked about. This opportunity, this is your time, this is your day, this is your awareness. And so it is.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, gotta let it go. Gotta let it all go. Are you listening? You got to let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free in the Spirit. Yeah. Do you want to be free? Then let me hear you say yes. Yes, I'm only here for God. I know. There was a time in my life.
There's a song in my heart, praising God with all my might. There's a rhythm and a rhyme inside my soul, revealing spirits, guiding light. And I know, yes, I know that it's God. There is something here that I just can't shake. It's invading my life, you see. Makes me go for higher ground and pulling me to really be. And I know, yes, I know that it's God. No, I won't deny this voice inside. This voice keeps calling me, even when I try to run hard. This voice won't let me be, so I turn and listen deep within. And oh, God's work I must begin, for I know, yes, I know that it's God. So I say to myself, can this really be? Is this still small voice the way the Spirit speaks to me? Touching me when I'm quiet, touching me when I'm alone, opening me as I surrender to the way that's being shown. And the song in my heart fills my life with so much love. For I know that it's God. No, I won't deny this voice inside. This voice keeps calling me, even when I try to run and hide. This voice won't let me be, so I turn and listen deep within. And oh, God's work I must begin, for I know, yes, I know that it's God. For I know, yes, I know that it's God.